Out of their minds. That's right. This year's Invention Convention at Middle Tennessee State University welcomed more than 400 4th, 5th, and 6th graders who exhibited creative games and inventions from out of their minds. Their rich imagination was surpassed only by their eagerness to share their creations.
How sky high can you go? Have you ever wanted to test your strength, finesse, and knowledge about the sky? The Sky High is the game for you. You gotta try Sky High.
Our game is Survive the Disasters, and it shows that good things can also take place during disasters. It's not just bad things. Like communities come together and help out. Like I'm sure you guys know about the flood that happened. Our downtown got flooded, and our community and church came together and helped out clean up the flooding.
My game is Twister Fact, and it's similar to the original Twister game, but when you spin the spinner, whatever question it lands on, you have to put your hand or foot on the answer. And there are 4 different spinners and 4 different categories.
The yoga chair is supposed to help boys and girls pay attention in class because we have so much energy inside of us that we would like to get out.
I made it by I took a small spatula and I hot glued them onto the whisk, and it makes life easier because instead of using 2 utensils to get batter like out of a bowl whenever you're making pancakes or anything, you can just use 2 utensils without having to reach over and get another one.
This invention helps you when you're at school or if you're at home and you have to stop reading and you're in the middle of a paragraph. You record your voice from what paragraph you're on and what sentence or what page, and you just play it back so you know exactly where you were when you left off.
The youngsters competed in 2 categories, games and something to make life easier. This year's featured invention was Play-Doh, and Norm McVicker, the son of Play-Doh inventor Noah McVicker, was this year's special guest speaker. Dr. Lana Sievers, Education Dean at MTSU, is a big fan of the Invention Convention, which is sponsored annually by partner State Farm Insurance.
I think the Invention Convention sparks such creativity in children. We talked about they're not having as many opportunities for higher order thinking skills. And in these cases, they have identified a problem or a need, and they come up with a solution themselves. And if you've seen some of these children, they've linked it to what they're studying in school, whether it's science or mathematics or just a personal need. So it's just an exciting thing. I've been involved with Invention Convention since I was a principal in Oak Ridge way back. So it's been around a long time. And I think in these days where we think all about the test, only that once-a-year test, these kinds of things help us see that the enrichment kind of activities really are an asset. They shore up our skills. They give us more exciting ways to learn the curriculum standards rather than just the old drill kinds of things. So to me, this is one of the best things we could do. The really outstanding teachers find ways to spark that motivation, that creativity. They're excited about teaching children new ways to approach the same old problems. So no, I don't think we are losing it. I think it's more of a challenge to find time in the school day. And it takes a lot of time to plan activities like this and to get kids excited. That's what good teachers do every day, though.
We have 401 children this year, and we have 197 inventions, and approximately 30 different schools from the surrounding area. And that includes private schools as well as public schools.
Dr. Tracy Ring, founder of the event, has put together the Invention Convention for the past 19 years. After all that time, she says she is still surprised at the ingenuity and originality that come out of those young minds.
Every year is different. The children are different. The inventions are different. It's a whole new ball game every time. The teachers pretty much remain the same, but that adds a level of excitement too, because they already have expectations, so they know how to guide the children and how to direct the children. So they have a way of encouraging more creativity and a different level of ingenuity, if you will.
You can tell a lot about a university by the company it keeps. From the Podium is a new feature on Out of the Blue that highlights visiting distinguished scholars who share insights and observations. In February, the expertise that emanated from the Podium included a Wall Street Journal economist.
How many of you actually read the Wall Street Journal editorial page? Raise your hand if you read the editorial page.
A civil rights attorney who represented Rosa Parks and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
I was going to finish law school, return to Alabama, pass the bar exam, become a lawyer, and destroy everything segregated I could find. That was my personal commitment.
An obesity prevention scientist and activist.
So it takes a village to raise a child's physical activity level.
And a biblical scholar who told the audience they shouldn't believe everything they read in the scriptures.
How we got the books of the New Testament. And so that's the topic of this lecture, which I've called Misquoting Jesus, how scribes who change the Bible and readers who may never know.
Next month, From the Podium will include banjo artist Bela Fleck, expert on the subject of bullying Gary Namey, and author, scholar, and political activist Angela Davis.
Join us in celebrating 100 years of MTSU history. Check out the Centennial Timeline at mtsu.edu/centennial.